Seeing that we have a quorum, I will call to order the City of Menasha Public Works Board. Clerk, take the roll call.
And you can still punch in as I call your name, please.
You gotta start them.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Alderman Collier. Here. Alderman Kruger.
Here.
Alderman Zielinski.
Here.
Alderman Grotti.
Here.
Alderman Benner.
Here.
Alderman Nichols.
Here.
Alderman Taylor.
Here.
Alderman Sevenick.
Here.
Thank you, Clerk. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from August 7th, 2017. Alderman Zielinski.
Thank you.
It's okay. I motion to approve the minutes from the August 7th, 2017 meeting.
Motion by Alderman Zielinski, second by Alderman Benner. All in favor? Aye. Debbie, you want the buttons pushed?
No.
No? Okay. Item D, discussion, action items. I'll entertain a motion to approve payment for MCC Incorporated Contract Unit 2017-2. Alderman Zielinski.
I don't know either. I make the motion to approve the payment to MCC Contract Unit 2017-02, new street construction, reconstruction, and rehabilitation for various streets of $56,403.26. Payment number 2.
Motion made by Alderman Zielinski, second by Alderman Benner. We'll take a roll call. We have a question. Alderman Nichols.
Thank you. Mr. Montour, could you provide an update on these projects?
This is our current project, as stated, 217-02. It's currently the majority of the activity is out in the Silver Birch area, Silver Birch subdivision, but they have moved into town. They did some pavement milling of the rehabilitation streets within the project, and the included itemized breakdown. It's an ongoing project continuing. It's probably maybe a quarter of the way finished, the entire project so far.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Alderman Benner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Tim, I got a couple of people asking me about some of our street rehabilitation, and can you just give a quick description of the benefits that we have from either doing like a 2-inch resurface and doing the overlay, the amount of benefit it is for the streets? Some people are like, we're doing a grinding and putting 2 inches back down and the street didn't have potholes and things like that. Why do we need to do it? And also people asking about doing our tarring and then putting the ash on top. So if you could just talk about how that benefits our street program, just briefly, I would appreciate that.
The chip seal that you're speaking of, basically you're putting down an asphalt emulsion on the street, and the reason the chips are on there is to allow traffic to go on the emulsion, so you're not tracking it all over. The emulsion itself will give not a new bearing surface on the pavement, but it will extend the life of the pavement, similar to what you would do on a private driveway. when you seal you're filling in the voids, you're providing for the rainwater to run off and not seep into the asphalt pavement itself. The rehabilitation, the mill and the overlay, that's something that we've done through the years. We have done it to a variety of success. Generally, what you're trying to do is you're trying to get a new ride surface on the pavement. You're also trying to maybe build a crown back into the center of the pavement, so when it rains, the water runs off of the street rather than staying on the pavement, running off the street to the curb and gutter and then to the storm sewer. So you're providing a new riding surface, a new crown or a new typical section to the street. One of the other things that we've done a lot in the last few years is the pulverizing and establishing a brand new 4-inch asphalt street asphalt surface. Now that's that's considered more of a reconstruction than a rehabilitation. So there's the benefit of the rehabilitation. You're covering more surface. You're covering more streets.
How long is that good for?
Well, a brand new asphalt street, you're looking at probably 20, 25 years, 30 years at the max. With a mill and an overlay, what you're running into, and again, like I said, we've tried it through the years with varying success. What you're running into is what you mill off the top 2 inches, 1 3/4, put a new surface down on, but you're relying on that lower 2 inches that's been there for a while. You're relying on that to be your base to hold the new pavement. If that base is alligatored or fractured at all, eventually that's going to work its way through that new 2-inch mat. Longevity, it's hard to really put a year on it. Again, depending upon amount of traffic is a barrier on it. But more than anything, it's the base, what's underneath, what you milled off, and what you got underneath the new 2-inch pavement.
But if you didn't do that, about how long would it be before you'd have to replace the
Well,
whole road surface?
you are extending, obviously, the original street. Probably you're looking at 10, 15 years adding on to it. But if you didn't, then you would be looking at least a pulverizing and going with the full 4 inches of pavement.
What about the chip surface? What kind of life does that add? If you didn't do that on the asphalt, what kind of life would that add to the road? Or when would you be doing a resurface on that road?
Well, I think one thing that that we've been trying to do the last few years, we're trying to do more crack sealing in advance of the chip sealing, because again, what you're trying to do is keep the water from getting into the pavement and into the base underneath the pavement. So we've been doing more crack sealing in advance of the chip sealing. As far as longevity, you're probably, and this is only an estimate. I guess if you went out and you talked to the chip sealing contractors, they wouldn't be able to give you a hard and fast number either. But you're extending the life, I would guess, maybe a 5 or 10 years. Again, depending upon what kind of surface you have to get rid of the water. Standing water or water soaking into the pavement is what deteriorates the pavement.
Sure.
And all of these things, the crack sealing, the chip sealing, the mill and the overlay, that's what you're doing. You're trying to eliminate that and trying to get the water off of the pavement.
Okay, thank you. I know you thought you were going to get through the whole night without talking, but appreciate that.
Alderman Sevenik.
Weren't you on? Oh, I saw your light on. Anyways, I just kind of wanted to address the chip seal program because 20, 25 years ago, I was always completely against the chip seal program. It was an awful, awful mess. it has improved tenfold compared to what it used to be like. So I actually am very strongly in favor of our current chip seal program, and I believe it's really extending the life of our streets and helping out the taxpayer.
No, I wasn't on.
I think one of the things that years ago, I remember when we had the really bad years where we had a lot of dust and things like that, and
The stones were thick.
yeah, and through the years, they've come up with a lot of different, actually what we use is called a slag seal, and it's a slag stone, and it's black. And you'll see that as opposed to the white with the fines that were on it and created the dust. So through the years, the technology has definitely changed and advanced. We did find out this year, though, from the contractor that the slag that they use, and it's a byproduct, I believe, from a manufacturing over by Manitowoc. The slag in a number of years is going to be gone and you won't be able to get that. So they're looking at, okay, what can we use to substitute? What can we use? Because they don't want to go back to the real dusty, larger stones. And those in rural areas do work very well. Then that stone is added to the shoulder. Unfortunately, in urban areas with the curb and gutter, it doesn't work as well. So yes, the slag is definitely slag seal is a little better than the true chip seal from years ago. But in the coming years, it's going to be a whole new learning process again as we try and find something else to use with the emulsion product. So.
The process definitely has evolved, as Alderman Severnick said. The dust was so bad I couldn't see my neighbor's house across the street at one point, so it really has come a long ways. Seeing no further discussion, we'll take a roll call.
Motion carried on roll call 8-0.
Seeing no further business, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Alderman Zelensky made the motion to adjourn, and who's second? Alderman Severnick, second. We are adjourned.
Broadcasts of the City of Menasha Administration Committee, Board of Public Works, and Common Council meetings are produced by University Studios of the University of Wisconsin-Fox Valley. Menasha residents and interested parties can obtain information about these meetings and meeting agendas from the city website, www.cityofmenasha-wi.gov. Expression of opinions regarding City of Menasha issues or about these broadcasts can be made by contacting the Mayor's Office, 920-967-5117. Contacting their city alderman. Contact information appears on the website. Completing the electronic feedback form on the website. All public portions of the meetings are recorded in entirety and are not edited for playback.